Good morning, sports fans. This is George, Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. And this morning, boys and girls, we are going to be building the CT Rattlin Roosterfish in a Sardinia Tan. And here's the stuff you're going to need to build it with. The hook is a Gamakatsu SC12-2H in a 4/0. The eyes are silver 3D sticker eyes. The wing and body are EP minnow fibers 3D in white and tan. And then there's also EP Gamechanger fibers in white and sand. That's the Gamechanger fibers. And the tag for the gills is EP silky fibers in red, and there's some pearl flashy boo. The accent is EP sparkle, crystal blue, and holographic silver. The rattle is a Hareline medium glass rattle, and it's contained in Hareline Easy Body, and I'm going to show you how to build that. And the thread that I'm using is Danville Fly Master white and a 210 denier. So first things first, let's build the rattle. Take your medium Hareline glass rattle, put it in the end of your Easy Body, and then paint generously with UV resin. You want to paint the whole thing, get it good and soaked. Don't be afraid to glob it on there. Hit it with your light. And you can tell you're getting a good cure because you'll see smoke coming off of this. You don't want to breathe that smoke. Okay, to get the right trim, I line the end of the Easy Body up with the first joint in my finger, and then I come forward by about 1/4 of an inch off the end of tip of my finger, which basically gives you 1.25 inches. And that might be a little long, but you can trim a little long. A little long is better than too short. And put that aside. Take your thread, tie in at the very front, and just run your thread all the way back. You're going to run it back to just past the bend. And then come forward. Roll your hook over, roll your hook over. Then you got your EP red silky fibers. Just get a very tiny little clump too big. Because you're going to fold this over a couple times. Now, of course, if you're tying more than one of these, which, you know, I guess most of you would, you're going to tie these in sections for durability. Find the middle, then you put it on the side of the hook and then roll it over into place. Take another wrap, and you're going to take this and fold it up this way. And there you go. Now this part here, you want to be about half a gap width or thereabouts. Now you're going to add a little flash. I'm using some pearl and silver polar flash here at the back end, just a little bit. Fold that over in half. Fold that over the thread. Now a little of the EP sparkle. When you pull this sparkle out, you're kind of clumpy at the very top. Okay, so you just pull that, see that real heavy stuff, just pull that out. And, you know, you could use it later for something. You want the long fibers. I want a little more than that. There you go. Yep. And again, put that over the thread. You want to kind of spread that out a little bit. Okay, now altogether, this fly is going to be, you know, 5 or 6 inches long. So every now and again, you want to take a ruler and kind of measure. You can put a mark on the back of your vise. That lets me know where the 6-inch mark is. Now I don't have to get my ruler out every time. Okay, so next is you're going to want some EP Gamechanger. You're going to measure that back to the 6-inch mark. And then this little part here, you just clip that off. You're going to save that for later because you're going to need it a little later. you'll notice that when you're working with this stuff, you don't want big clumps. If you use big clumps, then your fly is going to end up real bulky, and it's more trimming that you're going to have to do, because this has a slender profile. It's kind of round. Now, I forgot to show you what the finished product looks like. That's what the finished fly looks like. I should have showed you that at the beginning. Okay. And now the EP white. Again, not a real big clump. You got to measure that back to your 6-inch mark. Save that piece for later. All right, now you got the bottom in. Now it's time for the top. Now the top is, well, the whole fly is long. The top is just a little shorter than the bottom when it's all trimmed up. So after I clip, okay, so now that we have the EP Gamechanger in place, you know what? I just made a mistake. It's not like I haven't tied a dozen of these things already in the last couple of days. I still make the same mistake. The mistake was putting the Gamechanger on first. Okay, you want the EP white, and like I said, it's going to be just a little shorter than the rest of the tail. You see, I captured that thread with a pinch wrap. Okay. All right, and now you just flip this over. Kind of spread it around a little bit. Take a couple securing wraps. and then hit it with some head cement or some Lee hard as nails or whatever. You can put a dot of super glue on there. Some people use Zap-A-Gap. I mean, I suppose you could even put UV resin on there, but I kind of think that's overkill. Okay, next is the rattle. Because you want the rattle to be out of the body of the fly. Because like I said, this has a slender profile that's kind of round. And if you put the rattle in where it's pointing up too far, you'll mess up your profile. I'm just trying to get the tacky off of the EP or off of the resin by hitting it with the light. Okay. You see how the rattle lays flat. That's what you want. All right. This is phase 1. You're going to paint this with head cement. And you're going to set that off to the side to cure. Okay. Now that your rattle is cured, you're going to go back in and you're going to want white on the bottom. Again, not a real big clump of this Gamechanger. Find the middle, attach it on the side. And the white, not a real big clump. Maybe a little bigger than that. Find the middle. I'm going to pull those fibers out a little bit, you know, so that they're uneven. Attach it on the side. And you're going to pull the Gamechanger over, and you're going to pull the EP over, and you're going to pinch them up together and nail them down. Roll it over. And before you flip this over, this your first accent is going in. This is your EP holographic silver. You want the long ones again. See, nice long fibers. My kitty's over there making noise. And she just made more noise. Did she throw her bowl over? Yeah. My Great Dane being graceful. Graceful Grace. Okay, so you're going to do another on the bottom. And another on the top. Now the white sparkle, or the pearl sparkle, rather. Nice long fibers. Pull that over. Okay. So now you're going to do another bottom. And this time you're going to shorten your bottom up to about 4 inches. So you got that little clump there. Find your middle. Now on the top, you're going to switch to the tan. Not a big clump. Again, you're just going to fold that over in half. And you want the long, then you're going to have a little short. See? You're going to do the same thing with the shrimp tan Gamechangers. Okay, and we're going to put a little silver accent in. Nice long fibers. Fold that over. Back underneath. And you kind of keep doing this, alternating between the white and the tan, shortening up as you go, and that's going to start giving you that tapered look. Save that for later. You want to try to get these fibers spread out around the hook shank a little bit, kind of like you would when you're tying with deer hair. And that kind of hides the shank and the the midline of the fly. And you want to make sure you advance. And that's one of the biggest problems people tying these type of flies is they keep stacking on top, and they don't advance. So you end up with a real fat fly with a whole bunch of stuff in it that you end up having to trim out. So I mean, all that extra stuff you wrapped on there just ends up in a waste paper basket. And the price of this EP stuff, you don't really want to waste it. Keep putting all this stuff in a waste basket, and you're just throwing money away. So don't forget to advance. And save as many as you can when you trim, because you're going to need it here in a minute as we get closer to the front of the fly. The hanks get shorter and shorter. All right, now we're going to go for a little more silver. Roll that back, spread it out. Now we're going to start using the scraps. Instead of folding these over, we're just going to put them on as they are. Because they're going to end up getting a haircut. You don't want to fold these over. You just add them on just like they are.
My hands are at grease.
You're going to get one or two more of these on the head, and then you'll be done. I have to tighten that back up. There we go. probably get one more on the top. Not real heavy. You want to fold, you're going to end up folding this down. Cool. Now you get your head on there. And a 5 3 whip. Alrighty then. Now you're ready for the trim. So, first step in the trim is to brush it out. I use a wire brush. And I hold the fly like this. I put it on my leg. I brush it out on both sides. You know, you can put it on a board or something, or I mean, you don't have to use your leg, but that's what I do. But you want to brush it out so that you get this wide profile like this, and it lets you know where you got to trim. I use long-nosed barber scissors to get my trim on these really long flies. That way you get a nice uniform snip. Okay, you see how this tail, that's your longest part. All right, that's where you first started out putting the tail on. So you want to use that as a guide and just kind of trim it so you start getting that bait fish profile. And you want to trim it out thin around the gills so that you can, you know, see them. And you want to start shaping your head, because because it's not a big fat head like a peanut butter. It's a narrow head like a bait fish. That's like a hydrodynamic bait fish. If you have a fat profile, you see how that's kind of fat? So you just want to kind of trim that so you get some of that bulk out. This is where a pair of left-handed scissors would come in handy. Now you're gonna go to the top. The top is kind of fat, so you want to narrow that profile down a little bit. All right. Whoop. Sorry, I knocked the camera around a little bit. All right. Now I'm gonna take my little profile here. I'm gonna brush it down again. Make sure I got things the way I want them. Cool. All right. Get that little piece there out. Now I'm going to take this is the deep olive green Master's Touch alcohol marker. I get these at Hobby Lobby. They're a couple dollars a piece. I'm just going to lay that fly on the pad on my bench. I'm going to color the top of it. See, I'm going to put it back in the vise. Make sure I got the very top. All right. Now we're gonna put the eyes on. You're gonna take a black Sharpie and you're gonna make a dot on the shank right above the hook point. See? And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. That's where the eye's going. A little shot of super glue. .3D silver sticker eye. And then you take your UV resin and you're going to seal that eye. So just paint over top of it and then take the brush and kind of push a little off the eye all the way around the eye. And hit it with your light. Then give it a try. You want to make sure you can't pull it off. And do the other eye. And then put some around the nose. And burn it in with the light. Make sure you got a real good cure. There you have it. CT Rattlin Roosterfish in a Sardinia Tan. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. I want to thank you for stopping by. If this was helpful for you, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's always something nifty on here. I like to put stuff up as often as I can. Excuse me. If you are for this and other flies and fly tying tutorials, you will find more on the Custom Tied Virtual Fly Shop website at www.custom-tied.com. That's custom-tied.com. Have a splash. Don't forget the dash. And you'll also find the Virtual Fly Shop Facebook page by searching Custom Tyer 02. That's CUSTOMTYER 02. Thanks for joining us for the CT Rattlin Roosterfish in Sardinia Tan. Happy tying!